Okay, now we're just hearing that the Climate Change Minister, Greg Combet, has begun his doorstop press conference. He's at Sydney University. We might take a listen into that now.
Carbon price legislation for a clean energy future. This is obviously the next step in the delivery of the government's commitment to put a price on carbon in our economy and to drive our economy to a clean energy future. We're doing this to cut pollution, to drive investment in clean energy so that we can tackle climate change, play a responsible part internationally in doing so, and also doing it at the same time as we support households with assistance. 9 in 10 households, in fact, will receive some assistance through tax cuts and increases in pensions or other benefits to help meet modest price impacts. And also this draft exposure legislation today, of course, would implement the government's commitment under the Jobs and Competitiveness program to support jobs in trade-exposed emissions-intensive industries like aluminium and steel making. And so it's an important next step. This draft exposure legislation is released today so that stakeholders and members of the community broadly can have a look at the government's detailed legislative proposals, provide feedback and comment. The bills can be accessed on the government's website, www.cleanenergyfuture.gov.au, and submissions can be made to the government up until August the 22nd, following which the government will take on board all of those comments and formulate the final legislation. It would be my intention to introduce the final bills into the House of Representatives during September. So happy to take your questions.
Against this carbon price. How do you think this is going to cut through, how do you think this is going to cut through that scare campaign and get the message out there?
Well, the government, of course, through the Prime Minister and the Treasurer and myself, announced the detailed carbon price package on the 10th of July, so just a couple of weeks ago. That was an important announcement, and since that time we have been out in the community, in workplaces, explaining to people exactly what the government's plan for a clean energy future involves. And it is a plan to establish an emissions trading scheme, starting with an initial 3-year fixed price period. It will cut pollution and it will drive investment in clean energy, and at the same time support households and support jobs and the economy's competitiveness. And we've been finding, as we go out and explain it to people in the community and they come to understand the package better, that of course support for the package grows. People want to hear the details, and to take that further, the government will also be mailing out a brochure to households in coming weeks detailing the household assistance that will be available to people, excuse me, so they'll have available to them the facts, not the fear and hysteria that Tony Abbott has been spreading.
You've been out and about. Do you feel that sentiment within the electorate is changing?
I think I'm finding as I go around, I've been visiting many regions in particular over the last couple of weeks, that with the opportunity to explain to people and for people to ask questions about carbon pricing and climate change, people become much more comfortable with the government's approach. And it will continue doing that hard work. There's of course been months of hysterical fear campaigning by Tony Abbott. It's been totally unprincipled, it's opportunist, and in fact it's deceitful. And he's misrepresented things to people and created a lot of apprehension. Tony Abbott, I think, has got to stop talking the economy down. He's been talking consumer sentiment down. I think someone in a position of responsibility such that he holds has the obligation to be honest to the community and tell them the facts, not spread fear.
What are some of the things you find in the community that you're changing people's minds about?
Look, it's very important that people understand that there's only a modest price impact, and to assist with that, the government will be providing tax cuts and assistance in the form of an increase in the pension or family tax benefit payments and other government payments. In fact, the pension will go up 1.7% to meet a 0.7% increase in costs. For a single pensioner, they will receive $338 starting next year. It'll be delivered, $250 of that will be delivered up front in May, June, and the rest through an increase in the pension through the course of the financial year. That's to meet an expected price impact for a single pensioner of around $200 a year, so it'll be almost $140 a year better off. 4 million households will receive 120% of their expected price impact, meaning that many, of course, will be better off. And once people appreciate that it's only a modest price impact, that there is a comprehensive assistance package provided by the government to households, people are more comfortable about the issues.
Well, you are also releasing leaflets with directly targeting households, as you mentioned. Is this another way to try and combat that scheme campaign?
Well, we've got to provide people the facts. People are interested in the facts. They want information about what the government's policy involves, and in particular information about the assistance that the government will be providing. And of course, when you consider that 9 out of 10 households will receive some assistance, people are keen to learn exactly what that might be. So in response to that, the government will be mailing out to households a brochure that deals with the issue of carbon pricing and why the government has taken these steps, what the science of climate change is saying, but in particular providing people facts about the household assistance. And this is very important in an environment where Tony Abbott has created such fear and apprehension in the community, completely unjustifiably, in a totally unprincipled manner. You know, it's been quite disturbing to go out into local communities and talk to people and see the impact that he's had in creating apprehension in people's job security completely unnecessarily.